And just when you thought that blood hunt was over and done with, and you were out of it, the vampires just keep pulling you back in. My name is Dorian. This is SCM Comics. We are continuing our coverage of Avengers Assemble with number 3. Our story starts off on a beautiful day in North Brother Island in New York City. It's a vampire community where vampires just go about their normal day. You have a dad walking with his son. You have another lady sitting there eating an ice cream cone with blood on it. When all of a sudden the dad that's walking with the son gets stabbed right in the back and through his chest. And then there's another guy that has silver fangs, like that's getting like Triple H Blade Trinity vibes, bite into a vampire, and another one just taking all kinds of vampires out. And we see it's the NIGHTSTALKERS. If you're wondering, I never heard of them. Don't worry, majority of them are brand new. You got Coma. This is her first appearance. She's an electric vampire. You got Ferreira. That's the one who think he's Triple H with his silver fangs. It's time to play the game. He's brand new too. You got AVENG.E.R.S. She's brand new and she's the leader. She's human. She just was raised by her mom and dad to become a vampire slayer. And the only ones that have been around for a while is Bloodscream. He actually debuted, I think, in Wolverine all the way back in the 80s. So he's been around for a minute, and he has a familiar, Frank Drake, who is a direct descendant of Dracula. I wonder how he feels about that. And this is your team that is wrecking shop. But now we cut to Avengers Mansion, where you got Mr. Sweeney. Now he's been with the Avengers for since the 80s. Kind of like Oracle, but nowhere near as skilled as Oracle. But he's letting the Avengers know what's going down in North Brother Island and seeing which Avengers are available to go help. And the ones that are available are Lightning, Lightspeed, Wonder Man, and She-Hulk. And they're there in an instant. I mean, it is New York. So She-Hulk has to let them know that, hey, we're here to help the vampires, not fight the vampires. We're only there to fight the ones that aren't trying to live peacefully. And throughout this battle, you'll see that some of the Avengers, they have to remind themselves about that. So Wonder Man notices as there's a sniper in a security tower. And on the next page, we see that is AVENG.E.R.S, just capping vampires left and right. And we see all the NIGHTSTALKERS just taking the vampires out to the point to where Lightning's like, oh no, this ain't right. So he goes into action and he takes out the fake Triple H, or Voracious, and he saves the old vampire lady. Coma, who we already established is a electric vampire, or she eats electricity, can smell lightning, and she was like, ooh, I gotta get me some, which she proceeds to do. And Bloodscream can smell the gamma radiation in the blood of the She-Hulk, and he decides that it's a good idea to try to take a bite. And She-Hulk's like, you can try. Lightspeed saves a vampire boyfriend and his human girlfriend from the fake Triple H vampire, and then proceeds to knock the hell out of him right into a school bus. She-Hulk is yoked up Bloodscream, so obviously his bite didn't work. And you got Wonder Man, who is blocking the shots from AVENG.E.R.S, who's still trying to cap more vampires. But now we cut to Germany, where Shang-Chi is investigating a robbery that happened in a museum while they were fighting Red Skull's daughter, the Serpent Society, where they were stealing artifacts, which now the Avengers are starting to catch on to. When all of a sudden, this dude, Tiger Snake, shows up out of nowhere. Now, if you're wondering who is Tiger Snake, again, this is his first appearance. Now, he is talking big to Shang-Chi, and he's just like, okay, you know what? Why don't we just find out? So they start going at it. Shang-Chi goes to land a right hand. Tiger Snake gets whatever poison's on his hand onto Shang-Chi's hand. And he's like, not too many people survive the poison of Tiger Snake. So then Shang-Chi hits him with the rings, which he should have did in the first place. And then he teleports out of there because he doesn't want to lose his hand. So then we go back to North Brother Island, where you have Coma, who's feeding on Lightning. He's like, let me go. She's like, fat chance of that. The fake Triple H is starting to get the best of Lightspeed, and Bloodscream finds a weakness in the She-Hulk, her eyeball, as he pokes her right into it. And then he takes his familiar, and throws him right into She-Hulk. Amy Morris is still in the guard tower doing her thing, sniping vampires, at least trying to now, but Wonder Man keeps getting in the way of the bullets. He gets tired of it, and then he decides to rush the tower. He brings the whole thing down. Somehow, some way, she survives all that, takes that big old machete that she got and puts it right into Wonder Man, which does nothing. But in coma, fresh off of consuming lightning, jumps on Wonder Man, and then Amy Morris picks back up her machete and is like, I'm gonna carve you up slow. But then Wonder Man pretty much does a back elbow to Karma and then walks up to Amy Morris and is like, look, we can either talk this out or we can fight it out. It's up to you. So the fake Triple H is still having issues trying to land a shot on Lightspeed. All of a sudden she goes up and he's like, you better run. She-Hulk is worried about the familiar Frank Drake because I guess his leg's all messed up now based off of him getting thrown into She-Hulk. Bloodscream, the jaw is now healed after he broke it the first time he tried to bite her, and says now that it's healed, it's stronger than ever, and this time I should be able to bite through you. When all of a sudden Frank Drake shoots Bloodscream right in that new jaw of his. And then Bloodscreen goes, okay, no problem. And then just disposes of Frank Drake for good. And then Coma starts to freak out because I guess she devoured all of Lightning. And come to find out that she shouldn't have did that. Because he comes out of her and now she is pretty much done. Done. And the fake Triple H just waits on Lightspeed to come down. And she does. Hard. And takes him out. And Wonder Man takes that big old machete away from Amy Morris because she wasn't going to cut his head off in the first place. So Amy Morris is still kind of feeling herself, even though her team's pretty much done and she lost. She's like, ain't no way in hell any jury here is going to convict us for killing vampires. And Wonder Man's like, you might be right, but we're not taking you here. We're taking you to the Vampire Nation, and they can decide what to do with you. So then we cut back to the mansion where Captain America, Hercules, Hawkeyes, and Night Thrasher are fresh off their adventure that they had back in the last book. When they bump into Shang-Chi, and he's like, Cap, we need to talk outside. So as they go outside, Cap's like, do we need to do something about the hand? He's like, no, I got it. Some chi, and I'll be all right. But he lets them know about the Serpent Society and how they're pretty much planning. As the Avengers are dealing with a crisis, they are taking whatever items from whatever city that they happen to be in. And speaking of the Serpent Society, that's where we cut to last. Now, we already established, if you guys haven't been keeping up, if not, playlist is in the description, that they want to resurrect Mephisto. And to do that, they have to get certain items. Now, half of the Serpent Society is kind of down with this. The other half is not. And one of them is just giving Tiger Snake the business. Well, all of a sudden, this huge hand comes crashing down. And if he ain't dead, he ain't getting back up for a long time. But I'm pretty sure he's dead. On the last page, we see that it's Pit Viper. And he has a new pet called Titanoboa. And he is huge. And I'm thinking, why are they just coming up with names? Then I looked it up. That was actually a real type of snake. Giant size snake. Like, huge. I guess used to eat crocodiles. So yeah, sorry Marvel, thought you made up something, you really didn't.